But before we move on with our agenda for the town council meeting, I'd like to read the protocols with which we are operating in this meeting. This regular meeting of the town council is being held pursuant to Government Code Section 54953B related to teleconferencing of meetings. In addition, this meeting format is pursuant to the governor's proclamation of a state emergency and executive orders where certain sections of the Brown Act relating to teleconference meetings have been waived. Town manager is present in his office. I am present in the council chambers, and Vice Mayor Dorman, council members Moeller, Dornbecker, and Knight, along with staff, are participating remotely by video and audio in conformance with the governor's executive order. Members of the public have been able to submit comments by public comment at yville.com. I'll now ask our acting town clerk to call the roll and ask each member of the council if they can hear the proceedings and if they have a copy of the agenda for this evening. Eddie?
Councilmember Knight. I believe he's still muted. Can you mute? There we go.
There we go. Thank you. Yes, I'm sorry. I couldn't unmute for a moment.
Can you tell us if you had an agenda with you?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay. Councilmember Dornbecker.
Present, and I have our town information. Thank you.
Okay. Councilmember Moeller. Got it. Councilmember Moeller again.
Yes, I'm present and I have the information.
And Vice Mayor Dorman.
Yes, here, and I have the information. Thank you.
Mayor Dunbar.
Yes to both. So let the record reflect that all council members have indicated they are able to hear each other and have the agenda. Any votes taken during this meeting will be done audibly by a roll call vote led by the acting town clerk. So that takes care of our protocols. Next up is our Pledge of Allegiance, and I will invite Mr. Lombardi, if you would please join us and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Next, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda for tonight's meeting. Whoever can unmute themselves first.
Oh,
It looks, Eddie, like they're
yes.
locked out.
Let me just do a check to see if it's locked out.
All right, Councilmember Dornbecker.
I move that we adopt the agenda.
Second.
Okay, motion, Councilmember Dornbecker, second, Councilmember Moeller. Vote please, Eddie.
Yes. Councilmember Knight.
Yes.
Councilmember Dornbecker.
Yes.
Councilmember Moeller.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dorman.
Yes.
Councilmember Dunbar.
Yes, and see, this is what happens when you have to try to make up for a late meeting and we try to catch up time, is we are frantically working through our Zoom platform. But yes, the agenda is adopted. So we get to our most important part of our agenda tonight, which is a recognition of Deputy Sheriff Steve Lombardi for his 30 years of service serving not only the town of Yountville, but the entire Napa County community. So I will go ahead and put my mask back on. I'll invite Deputy Lombardi to please join me on the dais. You get on that side? Normally I'd like to give you a hug, if not a handshake, but need the microphone though, apparently. It's on. Can we hear it on the TV? Okay. Jason says we're ready to go. I thought 2021 was supposed to be a smooth sailing kind of year, but maybe not. But seriously, this is a certificate of appreciation for Deputy Steve Lombardi in recognition of your distinguished 30-year law enforcement career. You served Napa County and Yountville with bravery, compassion, and professionalism. You honor the badge you have worn with pride, and we express our heartfelt appreciation to you and your family for the personal sacrifice and unwavering dedication you showed while protecting and serving all of us. Thank you and all the best in your retirement. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure and an honor.
And if I could, we'd love to get a photograph. I think if we hold the opposite ends of this, we qualify. Here, I'll take that. And I'll hand this back to you in a moment, but I'll hand you something else first, which I know even with your former boss present, I am able to now give you a bottle of wine on behalf of the entire town of Yountville community, staff, council, in appreciation of the years of service you gave us. So thank you very much and enjoy that in your retirement. So please, if you'd like to share a few words.
I would just like to say thank you for allowing me to be up here and to be a deputy to serve the community. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve the citizens of the town of Yountville. Thank you. Special thanks to my wife for her love and support.
Thank you very much. You're going to be missed. I know that we've heard a lot from our residents when they learned of your retirement that you really brought a comfort, security to all of us. And I do want to recognize being a member of the Pathway Home Board of Directors, and I know that our Pathway Home family is out there watching. A special thank you for your bravery, your heroism, and your selflessness in a time of great crisis. Thank you for putting yourself at risk for all of us and members of our community. It's very much appreciated, and we'll remember it forever. So thank you.
Also have a video that was shared on social media for Deputy Lombardi, if you would like to share with the public right now.
Yes, please, while we have our special guest still in attendance. Thank you very much. And thank you for sharing him with us for these many years. That's right. Really appreciate it. And thank you all. Clearly, with all of your senior team with you here, just a show of their appreciation and respect for all that you did for the entire Napa County Sheriff's Department. So thank you again. And thank you all for being here to recognize Deputy Lombardi. Thank you. All right. We almost forgot what it was like to have people in the council chambers. Thank you. But as they go ahead and head out, we will get back to our agenda and our business at hand. Thank you. As we somewhat awkwardly went through that presentation, it's not easy to pull that off in a Zoom meeting, but we are very proud to have Steve Lombardi part of our Yountville family. So we wanted to make sure we took good care of that tonight. Next up, public comment on item 6 here. Eddie, do we have any general public comment for this evening?
Mayor, we have not received any general public comment.
Thank you very much. Let's move on then to our consent calendar. We have 4 items, 7A through D. Are there any questions or is there action on the consent calendar?
Move to approve.
Second,
Motion, Councilmember Mueller, second, Councilmember Dornbecker. Vote please, Eddie. Are we going to do this electronically or?
No, I'll do voice call.
Okay,
Councilmember Knight,
Aye.
Councilmember Dornbecker,
yes.
Councilmember Mueller,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dorman,
Yes.
Mayor Dobor.
yes. So that passes unanimously. And we are about to get to, we still have law enforcement in our midst here. Next up is a presentation of the Sheriff's Department new bicycle equipment update. So I see we have our Sergeant Hallman is back in the room. He wants to see the video as well. So are we ready with that, Eddie?
Yes, we are. Hold on one second, please.
We do have a staff report. I'm killing time for Eddie as he's looking on that. We do have a staff report that talks about how our Yountville Sheriff's Office has upgraded with new e-bike equipment, and we are going to see that equipment in action here momentarily as soon as Eddie is ready.
I'm almost there. I'm having a little bit of issues, but hopefully it's coming up
All
pretty
right.
soon.
Eddie, do you want me to go
Yes.
ahead and show it?
If-
Is it the bike video?
It is the bike video. Would you mind showing it for us, Sam?
Okay. I'm ready. Yep, got it. Alrighty. Sorry.
Looks like we might be having a bandwidth issue here.
I believe
Either
so
that,
too, Mayor.
either that or they have a very jagged bike riding style that I haven't seen before.
But they're also balanced well on a bicycle.
Yes, I think what we will do is we will make sure that this is available on the town's website so that everyone could check that out and enjoy it. And even better, see Sergeant Hallman and our deputies out live on those bikes as they are cruising through Yountville, protecting and serving our community. So with that, thank you again for, we have Sergeant Hallman at a safe distance here in the council chambers. I just want to recognize you and your entire law enforcement team that continue to find innovative, creative ways to stay engaged with our community. I think it's really important that we all get to see you out in the street interacting, whether it's over coffee or cruising on your new bikes, but it gives us a little extra connection and a personalness to your service. So thank you very much for doing that. Appreciate it. Okay, we are going to then move on to our next item, which is a public hearing to consider adoption of resolution number 4032, approving a tentative parcel map to subdivide an existing 15,900 plus square foot parcel into two parcels, each consisting of just under 8,000 square feet each at 6630 Jefferson Street, APN 036-053-006. And we will begin with a staff report before we get into the actual public hearing. So let's begin that report, please. Sandra?
Mayor, excuse me.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Apologize for a moment.
Councilmember
I
Knight.
hope this works, but because of my proximity, which is literally across the creek and with Creek Street in the creek between us, I have a conflict of interest and will be leaving the meeting, and we'll try to get back soon. So thank you.
Thank you. And if I had gotten to my notes, I would have remembered that you had that conflict of interest, but thank you for bringing that back up. We will excuse Councilmember Knight from the meeting as if he in person was leaving the council chambers, so he'll be put in a waiting room until the item is finished. Thank you for doing that, Eddie. So now we can go ahead and either Sandra or Daniel. There he is. There.
Yeah.
I didn't see you before, so Daniel, go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Town Council. Tonight for your consideration, as the Mayor just mentioned, is approval of a tentative parcel map to subdivide an existing 15,912 square foot parcel into two parcels, each consisting of approximately 7,956 square feet each at 6630 Jefferson Street. I will go ahead and start sharing a presentation. Okay. So on December 8th, 2020, at their regular ZDRB meeting, the ZDRB approved design review for a lot split in addition to the existing single-family residence, one new single-family residence, and two new accessory dwelling units, as well as two garages at 6630 Jefferson Street. These are selected elevations of what was approved at that meeting. They approved, for a little more detail, they approved demolition of the existing accessory structures. There are several on the property. The slight relocation of the existing historic house to the northwest, the raising of the non-historic portions of the existing house, in addition to the existing house, and the construction of one new single-family residence, as well as two detached garages and two new accessory dwelling units. All of the aspects of the project design conform with the provisions of the zoning and design ordinances, including lot size, floor area ratio, creek and building setbacks, height, one-story height exceptions, accessory dwelling units, building materials and building elements, building frontage and orientation, parking locations, fence height, tree removal, and landscaping. You can see here, this is a survey of the two parcels as proposed with the existing structures on it. The next one, and these are all in your packets as well. This is the hardscaping plan, I'm sorry, this is the bioretention plan, and then the next one is the hardscaping plan. Or I might have those reversed. And so that tentative parcel map tonight is here for your approval. And I believe we have Deputy Public Works Director John Ferns on the Zoom as well, who can answer any questions about the engineering or public works or utility aspects of the project as proposed. With that, I turn it back to you.
Thank you. Are there any questions of the staff report before we get into the public hearing? And I cannot see everybody, so if you could use your raise hand feature, that would be helpful. I think I saw Councilmember Moeller raise her real hand.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my blue hand. Now my blue hand is up too. Okay, I noticed in the staff report, and this might be a question for our town attorney as well. You listed all of the utilities that were going to be going to each of the properties, but I did not see, which included water, sanitary sewer, gas and electric, but I did not see waste. So, and I also have a question about the driveway. So I guess I'll go to the town attorney first. We do have a mandatory waste service in town. Would that preclude adding that in as a condition of approval?
I think you're talking about the solid waste collection.
Correct,
Separate,
thank you.
Right? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I will also ask Sandra now as a question to follow up there. Were these utilities placed as conditions in the prior approval at the ZDRB, or was this just noted in the staff report as utilities that will be provided as a matter of course?
They were noted informationally as utilities that would be provided rather than as conditions of approval.
Yeah, so I think what's before the town council tonight is just the lot split, the tentative parcel map that's before you. You can place conditions on it under the Subdivision Map Act and under the subdivision provisions of the municipal code. But like all conditions of approval, there's a nexus and proportionality requirement to what is being approved tonight. And so there would need to be a connection between the condition that's being placed on it and the division of the lot into two.
I see.
So I will defer to the town council if there's an analysis there to go through, but it might be difficult to make that connection for what's before the council tonight.
Because it's strictly a lot split. Understood. Thank you.
I see.
Sorry, Mayor.
Go ahead.
The lot split by itself does not undo the requirement that the properties have to be served by our mandatory garbage ordinance. So I think what we'll do, I think there is a good footnote that what we'll do just for at a staff level for future reference when we're putting the summary of the variety of requirements is we can include comply with solid waste collection requirements as part of our standard boilerplate.
Yeah, when you're listing utilities, that would be great.
And I think that that's a good takeaway for us to do this because it's really more summary information.
To that point, and I'm not sure if this is a Daniel, a Sandra, a Steve question, but just to clarify, the lot split is what we are discussing tonight. When will the other details that are included in the staff report actually being evaluated for appropriateness? Is that on our agenda tonight or not?
It's not on tonight's agenda, and then typically once the lot is split, then it's at this level it's a ZDRB approval.
So, sorry, go ahead, Sandra.
And the ZDRB has already granted approval for design review, the design review aspects of the project, and that's both the single family homes and both ADUs.
So basically all of that is already approved, and it is basically for our information explaining the reasoning behind the lot split request.
Yes.
Great. Just wanted to make sure we were all clear on that. Thank you. Any other, yes, Vice Mayor Dorman.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, staff, for the report. The easement to get from Jefferson to Lot 2, can we have review and a reasonable yes or no approval on that? because my point is I want to make sure it is a permanent, unassailable easement so that we don't get a landlocked lot in the back.
Mr. Mayor, do you want me to chime in here?
Go ahead.
So the easement will get the easement as shown is an access and utility easement on the tentative map. It will carry over to the final map and get recorded when the final map gets recorded. So it'll be a recorded easement for perpetuity as long as the two lots are there, granting the rights across the front lot to the rear lot.
So it is not a lot 1 to lot 2 easement. It is a town to lot 2 easement.
No, it would be a lot 1 to lot 2 easement.
But there will not be a separate recorded easement document.
Typically, no, the easement gets recorded with the final map that records at the county.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that it's a permanent, unassailable easement. So if you're telling me yes, I'm good with it.
Yes, it would be.
Okay, perfect.
So Vice Mayor, if I could ask a clarifying question of your question, you talking about access to this second parcel in terms of driveway access, or are you talking about the utilities themselves only?
No, I'm talking about ingress, egress.
That's what I thought. And so you're wanting clarification, not just on the utility easement, but on the access to that lot.
Yes.
And
So-
John, do you have additional clarity on that then?
The easement is a 14-foot wide access and utility easement. So it provides access as well as the location for the utilities to be placed, serving the rear lot from the street through the front lot.
Okay, thank you. Then I understand that the layout, the hardscape, the buildings, the ADUs, all that's a done deal by the ZDRB. But, and I understand what the town attorney said about a nexus and proportionality. But since this is greatly increasing intensification of use on the lot as it now stands, would it be possible to make as a condition of approval of the lot split something that says at least one of the ADUs or both or whatever we might decide would be a bona fide rental, or would be a moderate rental, or I mean, can we make some kind, can we condition that? Because frankly, when I look at this, it's a house with a garage that's put onto a what's going to supposedly be a separate dwelling unit with a pool. So I'm just wondering, is that of nexus and proportionality that we could, if we wanted to, put that kind of condition on?
And I know Sandra has this answer because I asked a similar question about one, what authority do we have over the rentability of the ADUs, but also the deed restriction or not of those same units?
The inclusionary housing ordinance is not triggered by this development because it's not a subdivision of 5 or greater lots. And I guess the question is whether there is that nexus to require it. I would look to the fact that this subdivision is bringing this one non-conforming parcel into greater conformance with the town's ordinance. It sets both minimum and maximum lot sizes and gets more housing units consistent with the general plan and the zoning ordinance. So perhaps outside of the inclusionary ordinance, there's a possibility if there's a nexus, I would turn to the town attorney for greater specificity there.
What I would add is the application tonight for the lot split is different than a typical application for use, as you'd find in a use permit or perhaps in a variance that might come before the council. So I think it's harder for the council to find that there's a connection between a condition related to use and what's being approved, which is the division of a single lot into 2.
So is the short answer no?
The short answer is I think it will be difficult to find nexus, but that is of course a decision for the council tonight.
That's the
Okay.
medium answer. The short answer is no.
Okay, then my other questions go to the actual resolution itself. Because we are not doing anything but voting on the lot split, I, on D, under the recitals, would it do harm to the resolution to simply say the proposed subdivision conforms to the Zoning and Design Review Board's design review approval on December 8th, 2020, and leave it at that? It conforms to it.
And I would add too, I did speak with Sandra about this earlier, and I think one of the reasons that might have been added in is for section 16-20010. And I know you don't all have the municipal code in front of you, but it says in approving a tentative parcel map, the town council must find that the proposed subdivision, together with its provisions for design and improvement, is consistent with the general plan and improvement standards for subdivisions, including any specific plan, which doesn't apply here. So I think that might have been included in order to meet that requirement, that it meets all of the other requirements of the code. Defer to staff though. Like I said, the lot split's before you tonight, not the design. So I'm not sure that it matters if it's removed, other than what I just pointed out.
So, and well, part of my point also is being that the subdivision is in substantial conformance. I'm wondering, can we just say the proposed subdivision conforms to the design review, period? Forget about the rest of that. Is that a yes, Director Liston?
I would say yes, that could be removed.
Okay, and then when we get down to E, these also are these are recitals, but they're kind of written like findings. It says the town council, and there are some double negatives, but we need to not be able to make A through G. So again, in the interest of sort of clarifying, could we say something like, based on the staff report and the town engineer's evaluation, the town council makes none of the following findings, and then just list the findings rather than trying to explain why we didn't make them, because that makes it more like a finding than a recital. So we are reciting, we make none of these findings. Could we do that without doing violence to the resolution?
So I would say for findings, it's always good to explain why the facts that are in the record support why the findings being made. And the Subdivision Map Act has a very odd wording here. It says that you have to not make findings. And in order to show that you're not making findings, you have to explain why the findings aren't being made. So it's the legislature's fault for how they worded it. But I do think that explaining why the evidence in the record before you supports why the findings can't be made is important to demonstrate
Okay.
requirements.
And in that case, it should be made a finding, or should it be left in recitals?
So it can be either.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
I'll move on. Okay, then on the actual conditions, would it be possible to add a condition, or is it necessary after what Mr. Ferns told us, to say the easement granting lot 2 access shall be submitted for review and approval by the town attorney? Is that necessary or not necessary? Or advisable or not advisable?
I believe that the easement is included in the map, and that will have the same force and effect as any other easement that were recorded separately. If it's included in the map and the map gets recorded, it'll have that same effect. So I believe that the map has already been signed off on by staff, and I believe the easement's included in it. So that will take effect when it's recorded.
Okay, thank you. And then down to condition number 4, where it talks about no construction shall be initiated until improvement plans have been approved. I know that it's understood, but would it be advisable to add something that talks about no construction on proposed lot 2 may commence until after the parcel map is filed?
Might defer to John on timing here. I think that map's going to get recorded before any of this can start. Is that right?
Well, not necessarily, because the existing home needs to be moved forward before the map can record. But ultimately, the way it works is the applicant surveyor provides the town with a hard copy of the map that we physically hold on to, and then the town is the agency that provides the map to the county for recording. So we have ultimate control over when it happens. Ultimately, for this project, we envisioned that step happening after the front house was moved back, but we didn't really discuss construction on the newly formed lot 2 until after the recordation occurred.
I could add too that there's demolition and moving the front house that could occur, and we could even issue a building permit to allow construction to continue as long as it doesn't cross a property line. But we couldn't issue the permit to the rear lot because that would be 2 family homes on a single parcel, which doesn't comply with the code. And so that second set of building permits will be tied up until the map records.
So paraphrasing, we do not need to call out what I'm saying. We already have a mechanism in place to keep construction on the new lot from starting until the map's recorded.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I don't see any other hands from council for questions, so I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing. I see that we have our applicant that has joined the meeting. Welcome. And with that, unless Sandra or Daniel or John have anything further, we'll go ahead and hear from the applicant. Seeing none? Yes, go ahead. We need you off of mute though, please, Rick. Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for your time this evening. I think our plan is relatively self-explanatory. We completely understand that the development of the east lot or the rear lot cannot occur until we're in compliance with the parcel map, and that the west lot is self-contained and there's no encroachments from that existing building. So we understand that there's some demolition that needs to be required and some movement of the house in order to effectuate the lot split and get the parcel map recorded. And other than that, I was just chiming in this evening to answer any questions that the council may have.
Thank you very much. I'll invite questions. Vice Mayor Dorman.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us this evening. So do you have a plan to rent out the ADUs? I mean, I certainly can't do anything to hold you to it, but is it your plan to rent out the ADUs, or is it your plan to use them as extra space?
I would say currently it's our plan to rent out the ADUs, but as a prospective development, I can't commit to you honestly that will be the ultimate solution. What I would tell you is one of the 2 lots, most likely the eastern lot, is going to be a home for my wife and I. We currently live in town on Oak Circle, and we are about to put that property back on the market, and we intend to reside in the east house, in the house built on the east lot. And, currently it's just my wife and I. We don't have any children that live out this way. So it would be our intention to rent out that ADU, but I can't say that with certainty, honestly.
Okay, thank you. And I really, not that it's what we're looking at tonight, but I really like your designs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from council of the applicant? I'm not seeing any additional hands. Eddie, do we have any public comment on this item tonight?
We do not have any public comment.
Okay, thank you very much. So are there any other questions before I close the public hearing from the council? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing and invite further discussion and potential action on this item. Would someone like to start the discussion? Vice Mayor Dorman.
Oh, I am ready to make a motion if there's not discussion.
Are there any questions or discussion before a motion? Councilmember Moeller.
Okay, I'm muted. I just want to say I think this is a great way to get 3 additional housing units in Yountville. It makes perfect sense. It's like, you know, one of the few properties that are probably left in town. There might be a couple more where something like this could be done. So thank you very much contributing to our housing stock.
Thank you. And Councilmember Dornbecker.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Clays. I also live on Oak Circle, and you know, I'm delighted that it will increase the housing stock. That's very important. But we're sorry that you're going to be moving to the other side of town. But it's a lovely spot. So wherever you are in Yountville, thank you for creating more housing. That we're desperate for it. So thank you.
And the last comment I'll share is it's refreshing to see an application come forward that complies with all of the existing regulations. Not asking for exceptions that are unreasonable. You're really in total compliance. After reading the staff report, it was quite clear that you have done all of the necessary homework and worked with our staff to achieve mutually beneficial outcome with this. So thank you for your honesty and your appropriate development of this. You're actually taking something that's previously existing non-conforming into 2 parcels that are in conformance. So that's a good step forward, and look forward to you enjoying many more years here now in the middle of town. So
thank you very much.
Again, thank you. So with that, Vice Mayor Dorman, you had a motion?
I do, but the voting box has covered up the motion language. So anyway, I move approval of resolution number 21-4032, approving a tentative parcel map to subdivide an existing plus minus 15,912 square foot parcel into 2 parcels, each consisting of 7,956 square feet at 6630 Jefferson Street, APN number 036-053-006, with 1 change to the resolution in recital D as in dog, that it be changed to simply read, the proposed subdivision conforms to the Zoning and Design Review Board's design review approval on December 8th, 2020, period.
Second.
Motion, Councilmember Vice Mayor Dorman, Councilmember Dornbecker seconded. Just to confirm, Sandra and or Gary, you are comfortable with the modified language as presented?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please, Eddie.
Yes. I just wanted to let it know for the record that Councilmember Knight has abstained from this item. And Councilmember Dornbecker?
Aye.
Councilmember Mueller?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dorman?
Yes.
Mayor Dunbar?
Yes. So that passes unanimously 4-0 with 1 abstention. Congratulations, and good luck to you in your development.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
So I am going to now ask that I think we need to take a 5-minute recess. And the reason is we had a few hours of interviews earlier prior to this meeting, and I don't know that the council has had time to vote on those. So prior to us going to our next items 10A, B, and C, we actually have to vote and allow our acting town clerk to tabulate the results of that vote. So if that makes sense, Eddie, if we can have a 5-minute break, please, no more than 5 minutes. Is that sufficient time, do you think, Eddie?
That should be sufficient time. I just need everybody to fill out the Google document. I have 2 council members that have completed it, 1 that may have an issue, so I will reach out to the person, but 5 minutes should be more than enough.
Okay, so we're going to be in recess for 5 minutes. We'll be back at approximately 7:07. And we are back from our recess to vote for our next 3 items on our agenda. We did hold interviews, and I may be stepping into Eddie's staff report here, but we did hold interviews prior to tonight's regular meeting for the 3 upcoming commission appointments. We're going to start with item 10A, the Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission appointments. Eddie, could you please give a staff report on the vote?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So the town posted a notice of vacancy on December 2nd, 2020, recruiting for 3 community volunteers to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission. 2 of those positions were vacant due to expiration terms, and 1 was for the high school representative. We did not receive applications for high school representatives, but we did receive 6 applications for the 2 vacancies. So earlier today, during the interviews, you interviewed Donna Haynes, Gisela Compagne, Michael Brock, Pam Reeves, David Means, and Christopher Ray. Out of these 2 vacant positions, they are 2-year terms that will commence on January 20th, expiring on January 19, 2023. And I have the name of the 2 persons that received the top ratings. Those are David Means and Christopher Ray.
Thank you. So if there are no questions about the results of that vote, I will entertain a motion to appoint David Means and Christopher Ray to those vacancies.
I'm very excited to make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Mueller, second Vice Mayor Dorman. Roll call vote, please, Eddie.
Yes. Councilmember Knight?
Yes.
Councilmember Dornbecker?
Yes.
Councilmember Mueller?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dorman?
Yes.
Mayor Dunbar?
Yes. So that is unanimous. I want to thank all the candidates that applied for this position. We have some new interested residents, which is a great thing to see as well. Also want to thank Mr. Means and Mr. Ray for their willingness to serve on this commission. In the case of Mr. Means, to stay on as the incumbent for 2 more years. So thank you very much. Next are the appointment for the Yountville Community Foundation opening. Go ahead, Eddie.
Yes. So for the Napa County Library Commission, we posted a notice of vacancy.
Actually, this is Community Foundation first.
My apologies. I'm sorry. So a notice of vacancy was posted on December 2nd, 2020, seeking 1 Yountville resident representative to serve in the Yountville Community Foundation to fill an unexpired term, which commences on January 20, 2021 and expires on August 1st, 2022. The vacancy resulted from Director Eric Nye being elected to the Town Council. And at the close of the application review period, we received 2 applications that were submitted. Those were from Myrna Davis and Diane Page. And with that in mind,
Wait, you got the wrong one.
No, Eddie.
No, my apologies. I did have the wrong one.
Town of Yountville Community Foundation.
Yes, I meant to say the representatives are Scott Owens and Marcia Logrande Sigman. Now, out of these 2 applicants, the highest rated person was Scott Owens.
Thank you. So with no questions or discussion, I'll entertain a motion to appoint Scott Owens to the Yountville Community Foundation vacancy.
Mayor,
So
I'm
moved.
happy to make that motion to approve Scott to replace me on that foundation.
So
Second.
I'll take that motion by Councilmember Knight, seconded by Councilmember Dornbecker. Vote please, Eddie.
Yes. Councilmember Knight,
Yes.
Councilmember Dornbecker,
Yes.
Councilmember Mueller,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dorman,
Yes.
Mayor Dunbar.
Yes. So again, thank you to Mr. Owens for his interest in this position, and also Marcia Legrande Zickman for, again, being a new name, but also expressing interest in participating on behalf of our community. So thank you to both. We look forward to Scott's participation. Let's now go to the appointment for the Napa County Library Commission.
Okay. So on January 31st of 2021, the term of office expires for the Yountville representative on the Napa County Library Commission. And based on its bylaws, members can serve no more than 2 full terms. Staff posted a notice of vacancy on December 2nd, 2020, and at that close of the applications, the application review period, 2 applications were received. One application was received by Myrna David, and the other was received from Diane Curtis Page. Council conducted applicant interviews today, and out of the 2 applicants, the highest rated person was Myrna David.
Thank you. If there's no discussion or question, I'll entertain a motion to appoint Myrna David to the opening on the Napa County Library Commission. Vice Mayor?
I'd like
So
to make,
Sorry, stepped on you, Marita. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
that's
Councilmember
all right.
Dornbecker,
I'll
go ahead.
second.
Motion
I'd
by
like to
Council.
make a motion that we approve Myrna David to be on the Library Commission.
And I'll second. Thank you.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Dornbecker, seconded Vice Mayor Dorman. Go ahead, Eddie.
Councilmember Knight,
Yes.
Councilmember Dornbecker,
Yes.
Councilmember Mueller,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dorman,
Yes.
Mayor Dunbar.
Yes, and so that is also unanimous. Again, I'd like to thank Diane Curtis Page as well as Myrna David for their willingness to serve and look forward to Myrna's representation on the Library Commission. So thank you. Again, thank you to all the applicants. It's always beneficial that we have strong interest in all of our openings, and we did that for all 3 of these. So thank you all very much. Let's move on now to our staff informational report. Updating our Parks and Recreation holiday and winter spring events and programs and planning for summer of 2021. Samantha.
Good evening. Can you hear me okay? Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Sam.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I feel like I'm having some internet lag. So I appreciate your time this evening, and I know that the report itself was quite lengthy, but I promise you to go fairly quickly. So I just wanted to report back to the council on what the Parks and Recreation Department has been doing over the fall and winter so far. As you know, the COVID situation and the sheltering at home and stay at home orders have really affected what we're able to offer in Parks and Recreation. But I'm very proud of our team and the support that we're given from the council and the community to provide ongoing programs and really just kind of pivot what we're doing, you know, that word pivot, and really continue to offer some great, important, and well-loved programs in our community. So one of them I wanted to talk about was the After School Fun Club. So we started this in September as a way for kids to continue to come together in safe, stable cohorts twice a week and really just have play. And so they spend enough time in front of their screen and on school. And so we really wanted them to just have a place to come and safely recreate together. And so that program operated Monday through Thursday from 3:30 to 6. And kids could come Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. And we had the stable cohorts each day. Unfortunately, we did take a break from the program during the current stay-at-home order, and we are looking forward to reopening when that is lifted. I also want to talk about our golden ticket program. And so we have as you know, a very robust population in Yountville that is very excited about the golden ticket program. Our largest in-person golden ticket program membership was 155. But I'm really proud to say that through COVID and all of our programs being virtual, we're still able to maintain a 62 member program in the fall. And those 62 members filled 262 spots in our classes. It's an important lifeline for people, and they really look forward to it. We had a break between fall and winter over the holidays, and we resumed last week, and we have over 70 members for the winter spring session. And some were just so glad years and just a lot of thanks for us continuing to offer these programs. And in a lot of people think virtual is challenging, which it is, but we have such caring staff on our team, and we've worked so closely with so many people to help them get online, whether that's on their laptop or their iPad, or some of them just use their smartphones. So it's a terrific program and a service that we continue even through the stay-at-home order. Some of the fun things we did this fall, we did the Halloween costume contest. We also did the drive-through root beer floats, and we had the pumpkin carving contest, and we also were able to do the turkey hunt, which was really exciting. So we had a lot of interest in the turkey hunt, and people were so excited to find the turkeys and get prizes. And then we also moved into the holidays, and so we were helped with the chamber with the virtual town and tree lighting. We also did the snowman hunt. So the turkey hunt was so successful that we continued with the snowman hunt, where we had adults and kids alike hunting for snowman and bringing in prizes, or bringing them in for prizes. We had our holiday lighting contest in town. We held virtual story times. We had 3 of those on Sundays, and those who pre-registered got a hot cocoa kit mailed to them, and then stories via Zoom. And then another thing I wanted to touch on was the community cookbook. So I'm really excited. The community cookbook is arriving this week, and then we'll start coordinating getting those out to everybody who ordered them. So I'm so happy to say that they're here almost, and that they'll be going out after the delay. And then just kind of wanted to show what else we're doing. So other duties is assigned. You know, the Yountville Neighbor Network, we continue to oversee that and partner people. We take, staff takes part in many different meetings through Napa County, whether it's through the Emergency Operations Center or Public Health. As you know, we distributed meals for the school district. We participate in various COAD committees as well. And now we have 3 staff working once a week at the injection sites, partnering with Napa County. I'm excited about what's coming up, really focusing on some return to normal. And so we're looking at planning for the future cautiously, and knowing that hopefully by this summer, we'll be able to resume some of our normal activities, maybe in slightly different ways, but hopefully resuming some of those. And so we're anxiously planning for that now, and hoping to get guidance as the future moves forward for us to be able to resume to that kind of normal. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Samantha. My first question is, can I see your special event closet with all of your outfits? Because I know I saw was it a cat, or what was that last one in there? Ears and
it's a bunny. It's a bunny.
Okay, it was in small, tiny thumbnail
Yes.
size. I couldn't tell, but you always have something ready for every occasion. But other questions? Yes,
we
Vice
do.
Mayor.
So, first of all, thank you so much for the report. I've been on a number of webinars, Zooms, etc., mostly for Cal Cities, and they've been everything from community outreach to just this morning I did one specific to Parks and Recs. And I want to tell you, Sam, no other town or city has got anything on you and your team. So kudos to you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for keeping us all connected like you do.
Thank you. And that's a reminder, we need to make sure we're turning in some of these special events for recognition through Cal Cities also. Councilmember Dornbecker.
I just want to echo, thank you so very much. The Park and Rec Department, you just constantly amaze me, and just spectacular. We are so fortunate to have you, Sam, and your whole team, Jennifer and Stacy, and everybody. So thank you so much. Please tell them we said thanks.
And I want to recognize one thing that you mentioned, Samantha, that I think may have been you went too quickly. It's not going to be underappreciated, but I want to highlight it again. You and your team, I know Joe Tagliabashi, Steve, as soon as we learned about the vaccine distribution ramping up and the need for support with Napa County, and we all got on a call, and all of you immediately said, we will stand up a site here when it's time, when it's ready. We will have people ready to volunteer. And of course, you came through, and we have staff members that came through to dedicate their own personal time to volunteer on behalf of the entire residents of Napa County at the vaccine distribution location. So it's already been happening with the testing at the community center, and it's extended even further to the vaccine distribution. Thank you. I know that what you're doing with Park and Recreation is so challenging with the different platforms and the virtual nature of it all, as you just heard from other council members, really seamlessly continuing to engage our residents. It's exceptional work. And so thank you for continuing to do it when it would be very easy to say, in the current conditions, we just can't do anything, but you've never said that. So thank you very much.
Thank you. That means so much.
And with that, on top of all that, you're putting on a crab feed this weekend that's also virtual, that is delivering to Yountville residents. And I was going to mention it in the reports later, but I might as well bring it up now that you and your Yountville Kiwanis group are continuing to serve the residents here with our virtual crab feed, the at-home edition.
Yes, it's so exciting. It's been very successful, thankfully. Thank you to everybody who's bought.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you very much for that report. Any last questions from council? I didn't see any other hands, but okay. Moving ahead to reports, comments. I will try to be relatively brief here. The California cities, so it's now Cal Cities. We're trying to break the habit of League of California Cities. It's a new brand, Cal Cities. Friday morning, I was on a National League of Cities town hall webinar about vaccine distribution and not only the national effort, but the statewide effort, and how that has had its challenges, but hopefully it's going to be running smoothly very soon. But it's always great to be able to engage both at the Cal Cities level as well as the National League of Cities level. I also hosted a mayor and council members roundtable with about 70 other mayors and council members from around California on economic development and the COVID-19 recovery efforts that are happening in our communities. And I know I saw some of our council on policy committee meetings that were also held last Thursday and Friday. Anything else on Cal Cities from, I know I saw Vice Mayor and Councilmember Dornbecker.
I just wanted to report that we came up with our work schedule for the year, and of course we're going to be using the as our guiding principles the strategic goals that have been set out. So we had quite an interesting, and I have the information from the Revenue and Taxation Policy Committee meeting. If anybody else would like to share it with me, I'll be happy to send it to you. But we covered a lot of ground, more than I have time to tell you about now. But we got a very agile program for this year.
Good. Councilmember Mueller, you were on a committee?
Yes, I was on environmental quality last Thursday, and I just want to report that we did a survey with all of our committee members, and the number one topic that we want to work on this year is solid waste and recycling. So I didn't have any, influence, but everybody also thinks, a lot of us think a lot about these issues. So I think the rollout of SB 1383 is going to be important for lots of reasons for everybody. So
Thank you. And Vice Mayor, I saw you on one of those.
You did. I am this year on governance, transparency, and labor relations. And we also did a work plan with a survey, and our number one item was pensions. And we decided that we would look at, I think we finally named it modernization, possible modernization of pensions and how they're charged and how the benefits are awarded. So it should be pretty fun for a nerd.
And I will say it took a global pandemic to knock pensions off of the list of strategic priorities for the last several years. So that says something about the importance there. Okay, also ad hoc and standing committee reports. I'll quickly mention that the County Economic Recovery Work Group of all the mayors, members of the Board of Supervisors, Chambers of Commerce, leadership, and industry groups had its first meeting with two very impressive and helpful presentations, one by local economist, Dr. Rob Eiler, and also Brent Martinez, who is the CEO and president of Redwood Credit Union, talking about the forecasting for economic recovery from the historic wildfire season we had, or year we had last year, as well as the COVID-19 economic response and forecasting. It is not really positive, frankly. It is going to be a multi-year recovery period by most indications, if not all indications. And so that's going to be a long-time challenge for us. Also, just an update, the County Climate Action Committee has postponed its January 22nd meeting. It would have been this Friday due to the significant efforts that all county staff is putting toward vaccine distribution right now. So it's really top priority, not just for the county, but because they have all their staff focused on that, we are postponing the Climate Action Committee meeting. Other meeting report outs from anybody else? Yes, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. I attended a Zoom meeting of the California Veterans Board, which is an independent advocacy body. It's all veterans appointed by the governor, and their mission is to identify, ensure, and enhance the rights of California veterans and their dependents. I have 3 items to report on from the report of Dr. Vito Imbasiani. First is the vaccines that are ongoing up at the Vets Home. And actually, I do have updated information as of today on that. They have completed round 1, the first shot of vaccines in Holderman, Memory Care, and ICF, and the employees in those 3 units, all of those who were willing or able to take them. This week, they are expecting to have the second shot for those 4 groups, as well as a first shot for anyone in those 4 groups who has changed their mind or who is now available to take them. And then also this week, they are going to roll out to the residential care for elderly and the domiciliary members. So they expect that this week will take about 4 days. They are partnering with Walgreens, and it is the Pfizer vaccine. Councilmember Moeller was also on the call, and Dr. Imbasiani asked for ideas of how to help encourage both veterans and, but more to his point, staff who perhaps were reluctant. So we will be talking to Lindsay Sin, who is the Deputy Secretary for Communications, tomorrow, just to share some ideas because we are so close here in Yountville. Our home is such a big part of us. We thought we might have some information, in particular, Councilmember Moeller, with her scientific background and expertise, has a lot to offer in that regard. Secondly, he gave an update on the skilled nursing facility. They expect to actually be breaking ground sometime in March. That was their original target date, and he believes, Dr. Imbasiani believes they can stick with that. They will then have, when it's done, they will have 3 buildings empty: Eisenhower, Roosevelt, and Holderman. And he wants to have conversations on a larger scale with the town and probably the county about what some repurposing of those buildings might look like, perhaps even including some housing. And he will, if we still have Public Works on here, yes, I see our guys. And do I still see Erica, our guys and gals? He will wants to talk to the town about to solve or head off any traffic issues caused by the construction. So look forward to that conversation. And then the third item I wanted to report on is Rector Reservoir. He is expecting to get funds in July to do the filter work up there, but I think there will be more to come on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I know that our Public Works team has already been in conversations with the administration up there about
good
traffic control and all things related to that construction site. So that's good. Councilmember Roller, go ahead.
I just wanted to, I think I'm not sure if I quite heard the Vice Mayor correctly, but the Pfizer vaccine is a 28-day between the second dose, and the week before last they did memory care, and then last week they did all the veterans residents. So I think it'll be 28 days instead of next week before they get their second dose. And then the other thing that I also attended, which was an interesting discussion, was there was the Davies Napa Valley Ag Preserve held a community meeting, which I attended. So there is ongoing community discussion about housing and preservation of the Ag Reserve. I know we are all in support of that, but we also need to factor in other things. Wildfires, this is not just a singular event here, it's global against, you know, the whole Napa and Sonoma Valley. So at least that community discussion is starting, and there's going to be, I think, some more discussion about how we really balance all of this with a lot of factors going on, not just arena numbers. So anyway, that's what I've got on my list.
Thanks, Vice Mayor.
Mayor, sorry, there has been some confusion on the rollout of the vaccine at the vet's home. My information is from today from Administrator Peak. So I think there was some confusion earlier on. So what I am saying is what I was told this afternoon by the administrator. So I think perhaps we should just leave it at vaccines are ongoing at the home.
Yes, I think we need to recognize that that is their jurisdiction. We do not have anything to do with the distribution of the vaccine, even though they are our town residents. CalVet is handling that completely independently from us, and we will let them do that. They have, yes, a significant number of the residents and caregivers have received the vaccines, and they will be handling the second doses and additional sectors as necessary. But that is totally independent from the effort that we have. And I also want to acknowledge that we've had several residents and also our local dentist, Boyd Dennington, who have been involved in volunteering either as licensed healthcare workers or not to help with the administration and the distribution of vaccines. I did want to give that update. Countywide, vaccines are being distributed at the Napa Expo and at St. Helena Hospital up at the Napa Valley College upper campus. That's where the majority of the vaccines are being distributed, somewhere between 500 and 600 a day at those two locations, which has been very good. The county was able to get over 10,000 doses delivered last week. Now the slowdown is they've been requesting thousands more doses, but they have not been arriving from the state yet, which is a story that is being told in basically all 58 counties throughout California and probably all 50 states in the US about vaccines not being available as quickly as anticipated and as desired. And hopefully Jason will be out here in a moment to turn my lights back on. Thank you. Halloween's over, so thank you. Yeah, that does mean I need to stop talking, I know. But there are some private healthcare providers that are working with the county on vaccine distribution. There have been 16,300 doses received by the county and 11,189 doses administered as of last Friday night. Also, very important, the county has on their countyofnapa.org website to sign up and register yourselves for the vaccine. It's a vaccine interest form. It takes about 15 seconds to fill out. And they have over 28,000 residents that have signed up for that. It puts you in the queue for when your category is available for the distribution. And in some cases, those, I see your hand, Councilmember. When those sectors are permitted, they are going to go to that registry to notify people that they can get the vaccine. They are wrapping up phase 1A distribution, which was principally frontline healthcare workers and seniors, long-term care facilities with pre-existing conditions. They're getting into 1B, which includes some of the business sectors and people over 65. They are taking licensed healthcare workers that want to volunteer for distribution. Please contact Molly Radigan at the county. Also go to the countyofnapa.org website for more information about distribution as well as testing. Yes, Councilmember Dornbecker, you had your hand up.
Well, I'm just very concerned because my husband and I have both filled out that paperwork online with the county, and I keep hearing all these people around me are out getting their vaccines, and we haven't heard a word. And I just don't understand. I'm very concerned. I really want to get the vaccine.
Understood.
Does anybody?
You can contact County of Napa. The problem is they are not getting as many doses as they have requested, nor in some cases as they have been promised. And so people that have appointments, in some cases, they are having to postpone those appointments. I'm not saying that's in your case, but that is happening because the distribution is slower than anticipated.
Okay, thank you.
So that's part of it. Part of it is now, as you were hearing about the Veterans Home, some folks that were vaccinated 3 to 4 weeks ago are now due their second doses, which is a very timely second step. And so the few vaccines that are available in some cases are going to the second dose recipients. And so hopefully all of the delays and postponed appointments are going to be resolved soon. It's literally every day when I'm on these calls with the St. Helena Hospital Foundation representative, they have 550 appointments made, and if they get 450 doses, they can't satisfy everyone that's been that's reserved it. So it's that kind of situation that we're hoping is going to be remedied soon. A couple other things, more casual, lighthearted, I will even say. Well, the first one is a little bit more directly involved with economic recovery from the pandemic. Visit Napa Valley has taken over the month of January to promote Napa Valley Restaurant Weeks. Each of the jurisdictions has been granted a week during January. The first was American Canyon. This week is the city of Napa. Next week is Yountville. So January 25th through the 31st, there is just an extra spotlight on unfortunately, just the few Yountville restaurants that are still operating, but that we are encouraged to promote and support our local restaurants with buying of gift cards, getting to-go food, whatever we can do. And then they're going to proceed up Valley. So the following week will be St. Helena. The week after that will be Calistoga, culminating on Valentine's Day on February 14th, where it is valley-wide. Everybody is encouraged to buy take-home dinners, buy dinner packages that you cook at home, whatever you can do to support not only the business owners, but also the thousands of employees that are part of our community that are out of work or furloughed, and we can support them this month. The last thing I wanted to bring up, I already talked about the Kiwanis Crab Feed this Saturday, but coming soon, February 11th through the 15th, will be the Yountville International Short Film Festival. Tickets are available to purchase on YISFF.com. Those are the initials of the festival, YISFF.com. Very affordable, very reasonably priced. It will be all virtual this year. You can watch the movies they have in blocks, just like they did in years past, but you'll be watching them from the comfort and security of your own home. So please look at that to support the Short Film Festival here in Yountville.
Mayor,
those are all the reports I have. Yes, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you. Just a short report. I just wanted to let you know that this Thursday and Friday, this week and next week, we'll be attending the Mayor and Council Members Academy for Cal Cities, along with the town manager. I attended that many years ago, so I'm looking forward to that this upcoming meetings, just as to hear more about the league, and I'm also very excited to get involved again with Cal Cities this year with some of the policy committees. I also wanted to thank the Vice Mayor and Councilmember Mueller for attending the CalVet board meeting. I'm glad to see that they are definitely looking and wanting to discuss with us, continue discussing with us issues that affect the members and the rest of the community. So thank you.
And I will probably be seeing you in thumbnail size on one or more of those sessions you're going to be attending with Cal Cities. Even as immediate past president, they still hook me in for some comments every so often. I believe that, one other thing, I want to make it available. The Napa County Farm Bureau had an excellent webinar that included State Treasurer Fiona Ma, and I think it was 4 other presentations from folks about all of the types of financial assistance that is available to our small business community. There's somebody from the Small Business Advocacy Organization, the Small Business Administration. Also, Congressman Thompson has had 2 recent Small Business Administration town halls where he has also brought a lot of resources for our business community to access. This is in addition to the congressional relief package that was finally signed, and money is coming out. And so it's really important that our businesses know where they can go to get financial assistance, large and small, whatever your business sector is. And a lot of it goes to the workers that are have been so heavily impacted. And one other thing happening at the state level is hopefully an extension of renter protection so that evictions don't start happening anytime soon. So unless there are any other reports out, we will go ahead to adjournment. We have no closed session tonight. So we will be adjourning to our next town council special meeting, which is because of the 3 o'clock start on February 2, I think. The voting box just blocked my date there, but I believe it's February 2nd. Yes, at 3 o'clock will be our next meeting. So with that, thank you to everyone for all the work that you've done. Please continue to wear your face coverings, wash your hands, watch your physical distance from others, continue to keep yourself and all of our community safe as we continue to get through this pandemic. So thank you all very much. Have a great night. Stay safe. Meeting adjourned.
Watch the inauguration tomorrow.
Thanks all. Good night.